Happy Friday. Enjoy your weekend. This is Frank House of Orange TV coming at you. Got the latest that I found tonight regarding Tennessee and the transfer portal. Of course, Sam Leavitt left town today. There's news on him. There's a new quarterback target who will visit this weekend. And this is shaping up to be a really big weekend for Tennessee in terms of what they had in the portal. We could come out this weekend potentially really happy if they can close the door on all these things. But hit that like, that share, hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate y'all along the way here. Of course, the big news this week's been Sam Leavitt. And from everything I have read, Tennessee they're all in on Sam Leavitt. Here's the thing, though. Sam Leavitt is going to Miami. I don't think that's a surprise here as well. But I wouldn't just totally discount Tennessee in this thing. It seems like Tennessee's going to pay. And, people have mixed opinions on it. To me, he was the number one guy in the portal. He was the number one quarterback coming in. Yeah, I know he had a foot injury, but the guy would be ideal. He would be perfect for this system. A couple things that I wasn't aware of that made me feel a little better too, and could give, maybe this would give Sam Leavitt a little bit more comfort in being in Knoxville. Of course, he, from what I've read, it looks like he was in Knoxville with his parents, possibly his brother. I'm not sure about his brother, but his brother did play at Utah State, and he was there while Joey Halzle was. So there is a previous relationship between the two of them there as well. And apparently, from what I've seen, his brother actually lives in Nashville now as well. So he is close by with it. Now, I've seen some of the rumblings about he was a bad teammate, not like. There were things said about Brew McCoy when he came here too, and you saw how that worked out. I think that one worked out pretty well. I'm not concerned about it. Frankly, I want a quarterback that's got some fire in him. I have no problem with it. And, we didn't hear any of those problems 2 years ago when he was leading that team to the playoffs. So who knows what went on last year. Of course, things fell off. Sam Leavitt went out for the year injured, entered the portal. Around that time, too, you got to think, too, and I think this gets disregarded. That's when stuff was coming up with Kenny Dillingham and other jobs as well. So I don't know how much that might have contributed or not. Again, it is what it is. I don't know how much truth there is to it or not. Color me, though, not concerned at all about it. And I still think Tennessee's got a good shot in this. With Miami, Miami's results with Carson Beck, we see they're playing for the national championship, speaks for themselves. But based on everything I've seen, it looks like Tennessee basically did what they can in this one. It's up to Leavitt. Now, maybe that relationship, maybe that closeness comes in, but it seems he had a great visit there. A new target is on the board, and I've seen some mixed reaction on this one, but Bo Pribula, who was started at Penn State, quarterback Missouri this past season, he is visiting this coming weekend, actually. Matt Zenith, and I can't think of who Matt Zenith is with here. I need to look that up while I'm going at it. But VolQuest.com, 24/7 Sports, they have both put it up as well that he is visiting this weekend. Looks like Zenith CBS Sports. He's broke a lot of stuff here. I hadn't been real familiar with him, but I've started seeing his name lately, Matt Zenith. Puts out some good content, it looks like, as well. But, again, he's the one I first saw put it with Bo Pribula. Now I've seen VolQuest.com has put it out as well, says Pribula will be here this weekend. Now, this thing could go a whole lot of different ways. I think Sam Leavitt's target number one. There was supposedly a chance of Joey Aguilar. I was hearing something on him today. We didn't hear that. I've seen where it may possibly be Monday where we hear something now. So, does Tennessee do – I would be curious to see what their pecking order is. I don't necessarily think Aguilar is their number one priority. I could be wrong on that one. I think if they can get Sam Leavitt, they're going to take Sam Leavitt. But then you got Aguilar. Let's say Leavitt goes to Miami. Aguilar wins his case. You got to think it's pretty much a foregone conclusion Aguilar is back. Let's say Aguilar doesn't, and after the Trinidad Chambliss case today got denied, I don't know that I would feel real confident in Joey Aguilar winning his case either. But we'll see. I don't see how you can deny one and then approve the other. I just don't. But it is the NCAA. Of course, it is a court system, but we know anything could happen in that regard with it. But Tennessee's got to do their due diligence here as well. And in Prebula, again, he was back up under Penn State. This past season, he played, let's see, I had his stuff up here. He played 10 games this past season. He went 7-3 in those 10 games. 1,941 yards, 11 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, had 297 yards rushing, 6 touchdowns. Didn't play for right at almost a month between the Vanderbilt and Oklahoma games. Is this the flashiest name out there? I wouldn't say so, but I seen somebody made this comment as well, and I agree. Neither was Hendon Hooker when he came in. We saw how that one worked out. I think Prebula would have 1 season left, and he is listed as a senior, so he could come in. He is a good athlete. He is a really good athlete. What could he do in this system? It remains to be seen. Could be pretty interesting there, but that's the most recent name that's come up. I haven't seen any more. I think Tennessee's all in on Levitt, but they've got to do their due diligence as well. And so I wouldn't just assume that they're going to take Bo Prebula this weekend. But again, I don't have a problem with them bringing him in for a visit. He is a guy with some SEC experience as well. I don't think it's nowhere near my number one target. Don't get me wrong on this, but based on his athletic ability, they work with him, get him going here with his passing. Maybe it's not a bad pickup. Who knows where we go with that one? A part of me would almost say with that, you go with George McIntyre or Faison Brandon. But regardless of what happens in any of it, Tennessee has to have that third quarterback. There's just no doubt about that. But getting to the rest of the weekend, this could be a monumental weekend for this defense. What we know for sure is it looks like, as of now, based on everything I've seen, Tulane edge rusher Jordan Norman's supposed to be in town. The Bama duo, Quay Rousseau and James Smith, they went to Ohio State. They didn't commit. They are scheduled to be in Knoxville Sunday. Can Tennessee get that one? That would be big for them. And then they may possibly be there now. Amari Campbell, former Penn State linebacker, and DeJuan Lane, former Penn State safety, supposed to be in town. I think Tennessee has a real good shot to lock both of those down. And then they did have former Oklahoma corner Gentry Williams in. He said he gave him something to talk about or think about along the way. That's off the top of my head. Now, I saw tonight as well where I saw it just a few minutes ago, as a matter of fact, where looks like they've got another safety coming in this weekend as well. Former Georgia safety Jonell Aguero is coming in. And, if you look at some highlights of this past season's game when Tennessee should have beaten Georgia but didn't, he made some big plays in that game, had a big third down stop, had an interception in the game. But he said this season he did appear in all 13 games, started 12 of them, 39 tackles, and an interception. Coming out of high school, he was considered an early round talent. So he's still around right now, but that seems like a pretty talented guy to me. So Tennessee's doing their due diligence on defense and its safety. I still think you need more defensive tackles. You had the defensive tackle from Pitt who was in this past week, who was in this weekend as well. Francis, I've not heard the pronunciation, Brewu, Brewu. And I apologize if I mispronounced it. I did not look that up ahead of time on this. But, again, Amari Campbell's scheduled to arrive today. Lane, those seem like pretty ideal fits, especially with that Penn State coaching staff coming over. Will Tennessee be able to add a running back? I think that remains to be seen as well. Of course, they did add the kicker, Ranvier from Louisville. Looks to be a pretty good pickup to me. A guy who was only missed once inside of 49, I believe I saw. He was 2 for 5 from 50 and out. Looks like he's got a little swagger to him. Not to pile on the guy, but we know our kicker this past season most definitely didn't have it. So Tennessee addressed that need. I think I saw they got a long snapper today. I've not even seen the name on that one as well. But things to me, especially if you can close, will they get all these guys visiting? No, they won't. They won't get them all. But they, if they get their share, I think the Penn State duo seems like a pretty good possibility. But man, if you could get the Bama duo, that would be huge for them. That would be huge. But I think things are still looking up. I think good things are coming on this. I'm curious to see what happens with the portal. Doesn't look like anything other than the two Penn State guys. I don't know that I would say it's imminent. I don't know if they have more visits planned, but I've not seen where they do either. So hopefully Tennessee can lock those two down this weekend. Other than that, you got to put your best foot forward this weekend with who's coming in. Of course, there'll be more portal guys probably tonight with after the Oregon, Indiana. You might see some guys hit the portal tomorrow as well. This thing's open through the 16th. Guys have to be in the portal at that point. When this is all said and done, I think Tennessee's going to end up with a big portal class. But, the key to me is getting Sam Leavitt. You get Sam Leavitt. You got Xavier Gillum yesterday. You added the kicker from Louisville. You've added some nice players so far. You need more safeties. And I would envision to say you need at least one more cornerback, if not a couple as well. I've seen where, Aaron Scott, who was a 5-star who went to Ohio State, is in the portal. He's scheduled to visit next Thursday. Does that visit happen or not? That far out, who's to say he couldn't go somewhere else and commit at that point? We've seen numerous guys that was supposed to visit not make it to Knoxville, so we'll keep an eye on that as well. And I'll be curious to see if any other quarterback names pop up along the way as well. I think Tennessee's going for guys with no more than 2 years eligibility left, especially if McIntyre and Faison Brandon in the fold there as well. But try to keep you updated as much as possible on what we see here along the way. But this is Frank. This is the House of Orange. Have a great rest of your evening, and I'll see you. Want to see you.